it's Leslie Stokes with the Northern Miner and Mining Clips. Today we're videotaping in downtown Vancouver for the Sprott conference, and I found Gwen Preston. She's a newsletter writer with the Resource Maven, and Gwen used to write for the Northern Miner, actually.
I did. It was where I learned what I know about the business, basically.
Yeah.
So,
and you definitely learn a lot of things with the Northern Miner. So Gwen, how about giving us a little bit of a brief rundown on the summer doldrums and what that means for investors?
Right, it's an interesting one. So I think pretty often a really common comment at this conference right now is, ooh, it's a weird market. Well, no, it's not really a weird market. It's the summer. The summer is always a weird market. Investors literally go on vacation, and companies go out into the field to do the field work. So the marketing isn't happening, and nobody would be listening even if it were. So it's just quiet. But what matters is that ends. And if you look at gold seasonal charts, there's really well-established trends. So if you look at sort of the 45-year or the 25-year seasonal chart, gold turns up starting at the beginning of August and goes for a really nice run in August and September. And of course, gold stocks give leverage to that kind of move. That's the point. So if you're a trader, buying right now in late July is a really good time to buy. Whether you end up then holding that stock for a long time because you like the fundamentals, or whether you sell it in 2 months when gold has done its August-September run, right now is a good time to buy. Conversely, it's a bad time to sell. If you're looking at your portfolio and you think you're frustrated that things are in the red, I would counsel waiting at least a month because gold will likely be stronger then. Still sell if you want, but just right now would be a way to sell low. Probably.
Yeah, definitely. And then there's a lot of activity going on. A lot of companies that get financed. Obviously, we've seen big exploration programs coming out. And a lot of that money has been focused in some jurisdictions. So can you give me a little bit of more insight into what where these jurisdictions are?
Sure. So, jurisdiction is a really interesting, really common, really interesting question.
Yeah.
If you're speculating on exploration, the answer is you can make money in any jurisdiction. A discovery is a discovery. A discovery in Sudan is not going to get all the same excitement as a discovery in Val d'Or, Quebec, but it's still going to get a good lift because it's a discovery. So jurisdiction matter. The importance of jurisdiction changes as a project goes from exploration to development to production, of course, because the development and production is where you need to get permits and you need to figure out royalty structures and you need to negotiate with the government. So jurisdiction always matters, but you can make money anywhere. What you brought up is also really interesting, which is that in this new bull market, since things turned 18 months ago, the lessons that the majors learned in the bear market, which is that taking on really large, expensive, borderline projects in questionable jurisdictions is a really good way to die. Those lessons are being applied. So the result is that there's certain jurisdictions that are ridiculously hot right now. The Yukon, we were just in the Yukon. $600 million US has been committed to exploration programs or strategic investments in companies in the Yukon just in the last year. That's crazy. I'd say Quebec is almost the same, Nevada's the same. There are certain jurisdictions that are just attracting the money like nobody's business right now. And that's cool because it means there's a lot of work going on. Discoveries don't happen without a lot of work. And area plays create their own success as well. So an interesting part of Quebec, the share prices will all get lifted because, say, Osisko is finding good gold at Windfall. That whole jurisdiction, that whole small region is getting a bit of an area play. So yet another sort of angle on how you can make money with jurisdiction. So it's a complicated question, but kind of a fun one.
Cool. So what are some of your top 3 picks
for
this year?
I'd say right now, on the lower risk end of the spectrum, I would go with Atlantic Gold. So they will pour their first gold at their Moose River project in Nova Scotia, in September. So first gold is a significant event. But shortly after that, they'll release a new mine plan that is likely to increase the targeted annual output by, I'm guessing, 50%, from 80,000 a year to 120,000 ounces a year. So this is a company that is focused on defining economic mineable reserves and then putting them into production in a low-risk manner. They're very risk-focused. And so this idea that you get a good lift as you go from development into production, I think is really in play with Atlantic. The other one that I'll mention is GT Gold.
Okay.
So if we'd talked a few days ago and I'd mentioned that, then I would have seemed like such a genius. I had already mentioned it to my subscribers. My subscribers are already in the stock. But a few days ago, they did announce a discovery in the Golden Triangle. Looks really interesting right now. Very early days. No idea how big it is, how deep it is. But looks like a pretty interesting discovery in another area that's attracted a lot of investment interest.
Okay. All right. Well, thanks so much, Gwen, for joining us. Good talking to you as always.
Thanks, Leslie.
Okay.